How's it going, YouTube? This is TalkF bringing you another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking a little bit about some upcoming RPGs on the Xbox platforms. And today we're going to be focusing entirely on the Xbox One. We're not going to be talking about the Xbox 360 because, quite frankly, there are no RPGs being released between now and the end of the year for the Xbox 360. So very sad, but as you all may know, the Xbox 360 was recently discontinued, and because of that there's just nothing much coming out for it. So while we talk about these upcoming Xbox One games, we're going to see a little bit of gameplay in the background for a game called Salvation Prophecy on Steam. It's a nice little indie game reminiscent of the Battlefront series. Not quite as good, but pretty decent for a few dollars, I'd say. But anyways, let's get right into this. So we're going to go through a list of the Xbox One RPGs. We're going to talk about them in order from release date, and we're only discussing RPGs being released as of June 2016 up to the end of the year. Alright, so first upcoming RPG that's going to be released in June is 7 Days to Die. So 7 Days to Die is a little RPG that's it's basically a first-person survival type game. So in this game, you basically, it seems like you're just thrust into a post-apocalyptic world, and you're kind of just left to fend for yourself. It's very similar to games like Ark Survival and that type of genre. So you're basically thrown into this world, and you got to kind of find food, find materials, and just basically try to survive. And that's, you know, that seems to be like the main thing about this game. So if you're into the Ark Survival series or games like it, this may be something that you might want to check out. So aside from that, we have another game that's actually being released the same exact day. That's June 28th, and that game is called the Technomancer. So the Technomancer is actually made by the same people who made a game called Mars Warlog I think a year or several years ago, which was an action RPG that was often compared to Knights of the Old Republic. So it's a game with dialogue trees and weapon upgrades and just a lot of really cool RPG elements. So if that's something that you are interested in, this is one that I'd say might be worth looking into. I've played the Mars Warlog game, and Mars Warlogs is it's pretty good. I mean, you know, if you're interested in the Old Republic style RPGs, that might be something to look into, I'd say. So there's a lot of choices to be made. Your choices have consequences. Mars Warlogs was kind of a short game, to be honest. I didn't actually get through the entire game from what I hear. It was pretty short. So, you know, that's something you want to be aware of. So if you don't mind that, then it may be something to look in, to try before getting into the Technomancer, just to have an idea of what you're getting into. But the Technomancer looks like it's very much improved. There's lots of gameplay videos for it. The graphics look amazing. The gameplay looks really fun. There looks like there's a lot of different weapons and armor to craft, which is really nice. So I'd say it's something worth checking out. The next game on our list here is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. So Deus Ex doesn't really need much introduction here. So Deus Ex is a game that's a game series that's been around for years and years and years. It's a very well-known series. It has you basically play in the first-person view, and it's a shooter with RPG elements, upgrading your weapons, upgrading your powers. It's set in a cyberpunk setting, which is really nice. And if you like the other ones, then this one looks to really improve upon all the aspects of the previous Deus Ex games, which is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to this game. I didn't get a chance to beat the last Human Revolution, Deus Ex Human Revolution, so I have to get back into that. I do have it on Steam, and I have it on PS3, and I think 360 also. So yeah, I gotta get it. I gotta get back into that. But it's definitely, from what I did play, for the few hours I did put into it, it's a very enjoyable game. So I'd say give it a shot, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So that game is being released on August 23rd, 2016. And sad to say, but the final game on our list, again, like I said, there's just not that many RPGs being released on the Xbox platforms this year, as of right now. So the last game on our list is a game called Final Fantasy 15. So Final Fantasy 15, it's a very well-known game, so it doesn't need a lot of introduction, but I'll do it anyway. So Final Fantasy 15 is the 15th, obviously, in the long-running series known as Final Fantasy, and it's a JRPG, that's Japanese role-playing game, set in a very interesting, futuristic fantasy world. It's very reminiscent to me, like the way the world's set up is pretty reminiscent of, say, Final Fantasy VII's world, where it had a lot of fantasy elements, but it also had very futuristic elements, like in the city of Midgard and stuff like that, which I'm very excited about, to be honest. Final Fantasy 15 is probably one of my most anticipated games of this year. I'm really looking forward to it. There was 2 demos released already for the game. I didn't get to try the first Final Fantasy 15 demo on the Xbox One, so I'm not too sure how that demo was, like technically, but I do know that as far as gameplay and all that goes, it was really fun. So I'd say this is a game that's worth being excited about, and I am definitely excited about it. Not sure what platform I'm going to get it on, most likely on PlayStation 4, depending on how the graphics turn out. You know, unfortunately, there's times where PS4 games tend to look a lot better than their Xbox One counterparts. But again, we have E3 right around the corner. It's a couple weeks away actually, and by then we'll see if Microsoft and Sony will be releasing their new consoles. So maybe there'll be a version of Final Fantasy 15 for the Xbox 1.5 or whatever the heck they're gonna call it, with much better graphics, and you know, who knows, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, so that's our little list. Again, like I said, not too many games, but still some really standout RPGs there, and I think it's pretty much enough to hold you off for the year if you only have an Xbox One. You know, you don't have to feel bad. You still got some good RPGs to play, and hopefully next year we'll see even more. I guess we'll see what happens. So there you go, guys. That's my list. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop it a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a wonderful day.